I keep forgetting to put the camera up, just try to document what I'm doing. So I just showed my dad some videos of Gary Vee, and who I'm just a huge fan of. And we looked at some Casey Neistat.
Yeah.
And we looked at the Swedish girl that makes the inventions. She's amazing.
Robots.
Because what I've been doing just isn't working. It's so not working. I haven't posted in like a month. I'm just worn out. I was able to get 30 videos up, and then I have to reevaluate. And one of the things that I'm thinking of doing is doing more like a confession or like a plan. I'm thinking of like doing I need to do 2 videos a day to catch up, because it's now I'm not a whole month behind, but I'm.
But you see, like even here's this guy Gary Vee that can put up anything he wants, and this was the most ordinary thing he was posting. It's just I wasn't even doing a good job with the camera, but he doesn't care. There's no creativity there. He's just documenting.
Yeah.
So you're sort of doing you're too creative for the work you're doing.
I am. It's true, and I love the creation. I absolutely love it.
But when you don't have the time, you don't do the creation.
No, and that's
see the
not
possibilities, but you don't have to do it.
Yeah, and it's not like my main thing I'm working on anyway. I'm working on a musical, So I want to spend my time. It would be ideal if I was spending more time doing that. I'm just plugging in the mic. Did that work? Is that better? Well, we'll listen and find out.
But what I mean is, what he's saying to these guys is, you don't need to be creative. You just have to document what he's doing.
Yeah,
For example, that guy's
one
a boxer, and they say, well, you just find all the stuff that you're doing and do something every day. It's a volume thing. It's not a creative thing. It's not cool. It doesn't have to be cool. It just has to be there for people to see.
Mm-hmm. That's true, because whether you like something is subjective. So something I think is not cool, like Mom with her paintings. You used to always tell her, like, someone will buy that. And she's like, no, she'd paint over it. Because she didn't like it. So I think I need to get over myself a little bit. It's 2 things. I really enjoy the creation, but I want it to be cool, like what I think is cool, and I don't think it's helping me.
But you see, what happens is that you bring the video into a creative guy, and he wants to take all those, all the photo, the shoot that you have, and you want to make it very cool. Whereas what he's saying is, just put something out. Yeah. Just put out what you're doing.
So you know what I think I really need to do, and this is, I feel like I found this before. I think it's really helpful to have different people telling you out there, do it this way, do it that way. I think it's helpful, but I think for me, I find that I have to take the advice in, throw it all in the trash, and then just go on my own.
You want, yeah.
Like, figure out what works for me.
Yeah.
And I think
ultimately that is the only thing that will work for you, because you'll get bored, or you'll find that it's too prosaic, it's not creative enough, and you won't want to do it anymore.
Or I just, I'm putting my creativity somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know. The truth is that it's been like tough and frustrating, and I haven't figured out how to do it yet. I guess that's just it.
But you've got a lot of resources.
I got a ton of resources. I think, I have a ton of resources. Not a ton of time. Well, I have as much time as anybody else. I don't want to make time an excuse either. I think it's a matter of
but the number of things you're trying to do,
and the way I'm going about it.
Yeah.
Like I do have a lot of stuff, and I already have taken in a lot of information. So that may not be the thing to do either. I mean, there is an argument to say, stop watching YouTube, stop looking at what other people are doing, and just start figuring it out on your own. I think that's where I think there is a time to take in, and I think you should continue to do that to see what's going on. But my balance, I think, is off. I think it's time to stop.
Now that you've learned, you need to be doing.
Yeah.
And then looking at what you're doing to see what you want to put out.
Yeah.
You don't need too many of those if he's your guy, and he's very successful, and he gives that advice, then you just do that, and then do the best you can with what you're doing, so that it has whatever creativity you need to see in your own work is what you do with your work, and you don't need to go watching him every day. No. You're wasting your time if you're going to watch that kind of the interviews that he has there. Says the same thing to everybody.
It's all takes on the same thing. It's not identical, but it is all takes. Even that one, though, did give me a couple of ideas. It helped me to differentiate a couple things that I'm doing. So, for instance, one of the things that I was doing when I started off, I realized that my first week, my first month, my videos would be different, and I didn't, they weren't always the same. But I realized that I can do playlists on my channel that can have a theme about one type of movie. So I started breaking them up that way. But that was a new thing that I found that I wouldn't have found if I hadn't just started doing it. And then I got that because I started checking out Gary Vee's channel, and he has his broken up like that as well.
I mean, you can put down a certain amount of time to watching him. But
limit it.
You have to limit it, and then try the things that you see that he does that he likes. You try him for a while, and then you go back to watching him. Or maybe you watch him every day, but you if it's not something you want, you just get it out of your mind so you're not wasting
I think
time.
like the most important thing, and the thing, so when I think about what's worked for me, like doing music and doing stuff on stage, I just threw everything in the trash and I just figured it out. I mean, I did take in a bunch of information, but then I threw it all away and I just did what made sense to me in that moment. I think that's what I have to do. And this has been ridiculously helpful, and I think I need to try some stuff. So like doing a confession thing, actually I'm not really crazy about that idea. I mean, like that's
maybe good for them, but not good for you.
Well, like I mean, I think it'll get the job done, and I think like that makes me a little bit nervous, and so I think it's a good reason to do it because of that. Because, I don't want to be like, yeah, today I'm gonna do XYZ, and at the end of the day, do my closing video like, shit, I didn't do anything, and I feel like an idiot. And now everybody knows that like I don't come through, and so that's probably a good little pressure for me to come through for myself. I actually think it'll be a good thing for me, but when I think about doing that, yeah, it makes me nervous. So I should definitely do it. So I'm doing it. That's it. I'm doing it. That's what I'm going to do for the next 30 days. I think that would be a good thing to do. I'll do that'll get me caught up too.
Yeah.
I'll do morning and evening videos. And I just have to be really strict on myself for my schedule, where I do my plan for the morning, and then I can do the wrap up at the end. And I'll just figure it out. If there's something interesting from that day I can share, then I'll share that. And if I don't, then that's fine too.
Yeah, but nobody's life is interesting every day. We have life things to do.
Yeah.
So it's.
But like that's also subjective. Like, I mean I think like Gary puts out really interesting stuff every day, but that's also because I'm interested in what he's doing.
Yeah, because I wouldn't if this, from what I just watched, I would not watch another one. But you see, I'm not interested in it.
Yeah.
My life doesn't depend on that, and I don't even think that it was technically very good. So I think, why would anybody watch this every day? Mm-hmm. And how does he have 30 people that turn out such crap? The guy who's a gazillionaire.
That's great.
So I think you can do, and there'll be days that you can do creative stuff, and there's days that you do things that are going to be of interest, and there's days that you're going to be doing what other people are doing, and that is they're plodding through their day. But you do interesting things in interesting places. You have, the last few days we haven't done a lot of different Medellin things, but we've had interesting days.
One of the things I realized is I'm not doing a daily vlog. I'm trying to take pieces of my life and make cool things out of it that I like. And sometimes it's of my life, sometimes it's all taken from my life. But it's not a daily vlog because I'm not putting it out daily.
See, what he's saying is get something out there. Doesn't matter what it is.
I think there's a certain
amount
of truth from that. But then what I'm also realizing is, I think you have to do I think that's not the whole story, though. I think it's a good start, though.
It's a great start, and now you don't even know the whole story to get the story. The story will come out of what you do every day. This one, if you just take the information that you just got, content every day, you will find in your day things that are good content, and it doesn't have to be a long vlog. It can be a short one.
Yeah,
it's better if it's short. The shorter it is, the more people will watch it. You're not giving it.
True.
For him, the long ones are better because he's giving information for people. But if someone wants to watch your blog every day, they're not going to spend 30 minutes watching it. They're going to spend 3 minutes watching it, maybe 5. And you do enough. Just your day yesterday, I actually thought about what you were doing. I thought, well, this is pretty cool. in the midst of all these other things, it was walking around and doing stuff and eating at vegan restaurants and having great food, and you doing this marketing and us being here in Medellin. You see what I mean?
I do, like, even just, and I need to figure out if I can do a fast way to do this, even just taking those clips and putting it together requires some editing, which requires a little bit of time. I'm thinking of starting to take music out of all my editing, just because it takes a while to find the music to sync it up, and sometimes that takes the most time.
But they all start off with the music at the beginning, right?
I have it now.
Yeah.
I may not. I've started just doing hey, talking to the camera. You know, because I've been making title cards. I'm starting to not do that and just do something like that.
Well,
just to get it out.
To get caught up. Just to get it out.
To get caught up, and then if I can get regular with that, then I can add maybe one thing.
Yeah.
And then add one thing and just get used to it and grow it that way.
Yeah, I think you're trying to do too much at once. I think get it perfect at the end rather than get the parts.
Yeah, and I can't do it as much as I'm trying.
Wait, that's a solution.
I think it's a good.
Tomorrow's going to be a better day.
Yeah.
Good night. I'm going to sleep.
Okay. Love you.
Yeah. Thanks for today.